All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the weekly analysis video for the upcoming week, beginning on November 30, the last day of the month, and stretching until December 5th, 2025. So I can't believe we're actually at the last month of the year already. It's flying very fast. So um, let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about this week. So God, we just give you thanks again for your blessings, for your goodness, and for another opportunity to trade. Thank you for allowing us to be able to trade for the past 11 months and to learn to be a little bit more patient and to be more successful and consistent. I pray for anyone watching this video may it be instrumental in helping them to develop their strategy, and may we all succeed together. We thank you and we love you. Amen. All right, guys. Those of you who are joining for the first time and you have not seen the review video for last week's trading session, please pause this video, go back and watch that video so that you can understand what I'll be discussing moving forward in this video. All right. Also, for those of you who don't know, I am 100% bullish on the US30, the NASDAQ 100, and all US indices. What that means is I am buying from my largest higher low, and I am taking profits on my largest highs. So, which means I'm taking profits on my higher high, my all-time high, my lower high, and yeah, anything that says high, that's where I'm taking my profits. Okay, so the market buys only from the higher lows and it goes to higher highs. That's all that this market has been doing. If you want to see proof of that, go and look at your monthly time frame, zoom out and look at what the NASDAQ 100 has done since inception, and you'll see it is only making higher lows to higher highs, which means it's 100% bullish instrument and it should be traded as such. All right. Now, moving into next week. Well, last week was Thanksgiving week. It was a shortened trading week. It was a week that showed you a number of um, volatility spikes. It showed you a lot of consolidation. However, the trend was maintained. That's the only important thing that matters. The trend was maintained. Now, there's something that I had posted on my Instagram page last week, and I want to just go back to it for emphasis. Now, I did mention to you guys that last week, when I made a post, the monthly time frame was showing that for the month, the NASDAQ 100 was down up until that point, it was down by 0.8 or 0.08 of a percent. It was less than 0.1 of a 0.1%, or less than 0.1 of a percentage point. Okay. Basically, it was in the red. Okay. Now, at the end of this week, we see every single time frame on the NASDAQ 100 is in solid green. Now, what that means, this solidifies the position that the NASDAQ 100 is 100% bullish instrument, and it should be only traded as such. So for those people who continuously try to anticipate a sell on the NASDAQ 100 or the US30, what will happen to you is what happened last week. The market will sell for a little bit, get you hypnotized, get you into thinking that the market is going to continue selling because it broke for a new low, confirmed a lower high, and then gave you a second confirmation for a lower low. And it is at that point that you guys miss the lesson and miss the point of the whole experiment, with where you understood or where you failed to understood that on the smaller time frames, such as your 1, your 2, your 3 hour, all those smaller time frames will and must break a structure in order to create a higher low on your larger time frames. So that's exactly what happened last week. All right. That is exactly what happened last week. The market did just that. Low, lower high, lower low. Here you are on a 2 hour. But look at what happened afterwards. It continued going up. It created a lower high, which tells you, okay, fine, I'm going to get another lower low. But instead of giving you a lower low, it came and only gave you a higher low. So here, structure has been broken. Structure is signaling that it's now going to be broken. Then you have the first break right here. Then you have the confirmation number 1. Then you have the final confirmation number 2, which gives you that higher high. So essentially now what you have on your 1 and your 2 hour is that you now have a market that is now back in a bullish trend on your smaller time frames. All right. So for this week, what am I expecting? Well, I'm expecting more of the same. It's the same thing. Market is going to buy from the higher lows, continue to the higher highs. Now, Friday was a shortened trading day. Market closed at, I think, 115 was the last trade that came in. To see that, let's look at the 1 minute. The last candle that formed on a 1 minute was actually 114. Yeah, so 115. All right, that was the last candle that formed on Friday. All right. So what that means is the trading day was shortened. Okay. Nonetheless, I'm expecting some amount before I continue with my buys. I cannot buy from my highs. Always remember this. If you're going in for a buy on a particular time frame, because every buy that you take is based on a time frame. Every time when you take a trade, it's based on a time frame. So if the time frame that you're basing your entry on is at a high, at any type of high, whether it's a higher high, whether it's a new high, or whether it's a lower high, if it's at any one of these high points, this is not where you're supposed to be entering the trade. You're supposed to be entering your trade from your lows, your largest higher low, and then you buy to your higher high. Okay? Now remember, 2 weeks ago, we saw that the largest higher low was, in fact, the daily time frame. All right? This was the daily time frame. All right? It was a low right here, but guess what? It's higher than all of these lows right here. It's lower than this one because it's a new low. It broke to form that new low. However, it's higher than every other low that has gone before. Okay? Excuse me. Oh my God. So tired, guys. Sorry. I just have to make these videos for you guys because tomorrow morning I'm not going to have any time. All right. So this low is actually higher than the previous lows. So it's essentially a higher low. All right. So from here, you expect the market to go up. And at some point in time, it's going to break this all-time high that was made probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've always said to you, every single high that the NASDAQ 100 or the US30 makes will get broken. There's no two ways about this. There's no if, no buts, nor maybes. Every single high that the NASDAQ or the US30 has made in history has been broken. The only one that has not been broken yet is the last one that was created. Every single high has been broken. All right. So the market is going to continue doing that. So let's jump and let's look at the 2 hour time frame. So here we are. Okay. On a 2 hour. And you can always even go down to your 1 hour just to get a little bit more detailed context as to what's happening. So you see the 1 hour has created not just one confirmation with this higher low, but it created a higher high. Then it came back again and it gave you a higher low and then it gave you a higher high. So that is solid confirmation to tell you that this market is in fact beginning to get back into the main structure of things, which is the higher lows to higher highs. Okay, so that's the 1 hour. On the 2 hour, you see here that the market has made higher lows and they've gone to higher highs. Okay, so as you move up, you will see that the market has started to shift and has started to make that transition from the previous new lows that were created, and now it's now starting to make the higher lows to higher highs on those smaller time frames. All right, if you look at the 3 hours, the same thing. All right, 3 hour has moved from this lower low right here. It has broken. It's now at a new high. Guess what? The next stop, the next resistance point is going to be the all-time high. So there's no two ways about this. This is all that I'm expecting for next week. The market is going to continue making higher lows to higher highs until your all-time high gets broken again. No two ways about it. All right. Now, one thing that I want to point out is, of course, I had mentioned to you that the weekly should at some point in time put on a higher low. Now, that's still on the cards. Okay. However, what you have to understand is that while that is true and while that is still on the cards, you are not trading for your lows. You're not trading for your lows. You're always trading for your next high. So when you get your largest higher low, as you saw on your daily time frame here, okay, by this low that broke a previous low, higher low, to create a new low, but it was still higher than all these previous lows, then you know that the market is actually buying from a support level, as you can see by this 1 hour support line right here, and it's now going to continue to break this previous higher high, which is essentially coming from a low, breaking this previous higher high. This is what you call the ultimate higher low to higher high setup. So this market is 100% bullish. There's nothing on here that tells you on these larger time frame that the market is making lower highs, lower lows. And that's what you need to see in order to confirm that a market is actually bearish. Nothing on here that shows you lower highs to lower lows. So going back again to the 1 hour time frame, what am I expecting this week? Well, guess what? I'm expecting more higher lows to higher highs. But guess what? I cannot enter from here because the market is currently sitting at a higher high point on the 1 hour time frame and on the 2 hour time frame. So I can't buy from any type of high. So I have to wait for a retracement. And once the retracement comes in the form of a higher low, then that is when I take my trade towards the next higher high. And the market will continue doing that, higher lows to higher highs, higher lows to higher highs. It will keep doing that for as long as necessary. But one thing is for sure, all of these targets right here will get broken. May not happen before the end of the year, but they will get broken. Every single high that NASDAQ 100 makes will get broken. All right. So there's not much to talk about for next week. It's just basically the same thing. Just, going in, waiting for your trades and just doing the same things. Like I said, success to be 100% successful in this market, in this trading game, you need to find one thing that works 100% of the times. Do that one thing 100% of the times, and you'll be 100% successful. Guaranteed. So again, here we are. The one thing that is constant, the one thing that always happens is that the market makes higher lows to higher highs. So if you know that the market makes higher lows to higher highs, then you wait for the higher low, then you buy to the higher high. Then you take your profits and then you wait for another higher low. If in fact the market comes up and makes only a lower high because you came in on a higher low, you will be in profit right here. So you take your profits and you wait for your next higher low. That is it all the time. All right. So nothing much to talk about with this. This is just what I'm expecting for the upcoming week. It's just a matter of being consistent, staying consistent with it. And once you do that, then you know you will continue to be successful in the market. So that's it for this week, guys. Stay tuned, stay consistent, and you'll continue to be successful. So God, thank you again for your blessings and for your goodness. We ask that you'll be with us this week as we trade. Help us to be successful. We thank you and we love you. Amen. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.